started as a simple idea. Produce 1 million liters of oil in a single calendar year. No shortcuts, no handouts, just me, a line of credit, and a stretch of land here in Ray County, Missouri. The rules are simple. I've got 10 years to build an operation capable of doing the impossible. The first few months, I can't plant, I can't build. I can only take contracts. How well I do determines everything. My budget, my line of credit, and how far this dream can go. To hit the goal, I'll need 18 oil factories and more than 2 million liters of crops. Canola, sunflower, or even rice, we'll see. But there's a catch. If my net worth ever drops below zero, it's over. The bank freezes me out and I am forced to sell to stay alive. So here in Ray County, it's not just about farming anymore. It's about building an empire 1 liter at a time. This is the 1 million liter oil challenge. Well, January's about to end here in Ray County, and we're selling a little bit of lettuce that we did have produced since we sold it last time, just to give us a little bit more cash. There's $6,600. We're also working on mulching the new field by the new property. The field in front of us needs mulched as well before we do planting to make sure we get our yield bonus as good as possible. And I can't remember if it's time to lime everything. So we are just going to put lime on the new field. Field 16. And then I believe the only other thing that we have to do to prep is that other mulching. So between now and March, we want to get all the prep done. So the second March hits, we can get a decent amount of sunflowers in these fields. We have 5 fields total, and I think I want to do sunflower in the field to our left. Well, what did we do last time? Let's see if it tells us what was over here. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't say after you mulch, huh? Crop type is gone, but I do see sunflowers were here, so I see a little bit. Was this corn? Corn was 6. It was canola. Okay, so yeah, we'll do sunflowers in 18 and canola in the fall in a couple fields. And then we'll do sunflowers in 2 of them, I think. Yeah, I think we'll do sunflowers in the field that we can't see and the field behind us, and canola will go here on 19 and 16. Those are the plans. And taking a look at the field out there, it looks like, whoop, we missed our turn. It looks like they're doing a good job, but I wanted to come out there and double check and potentially help them out because they're probably stuck. No, they're doing awesome. They're turning around. They're doing their job. We're not going to complain about them. But yeah, today is all about field prep and potentially getting a few fields planted. We'll see how quickly we get through everything. I gotta be honest, not completely satisfied with this decision, mostly because of things like this. So this was all the way in there. This seeder or planter tends to move on its own when you relog in, so that is a problem. Like, these fit in here fine, but the height of these sheds just don't really work for all our equipment, and like the roller, nowhere to put it. The mulcher that's out there, nowhere to put it. So I think we're just going to keep that other property over there for extra storage for equipment. And, you know, we could sell some of this junk around here, but, you know, I don't know if we'll get much from it. All right, so they're doing their little thing, doing some ups and downs over here, doing a decent job. Let's go ahead and we will drop the trailer here. And we're going to see what our capacity, or not capacity, but what we have in stock right now for lime, because we do need to get that rolling. That's a decent amount to get started with there. 7,200. I don't think we'll even get around the headland, but got to start somewhere. And a little bit farther of a drive, so getting a semi with a large trailer to bring goods over to us is definitely in the cards, but financially, just can't pull that off right now. So we'll get rolling. I don't know how much daylight we have left, but I did want to take advantage of January while we can. We should get to a spot here soon where the sunflower oil is ready to be sold, and that's something we're looking forward to taking care of here in a little bit to make a little bit of extra money, but hoping to get a decent amount more oil produced before we do that. Lime's not dropping too quickly. We should have a little bit of time to just take a peek in here. Needs lime. Yeah, this is the only field, and we do see they're working on the ups and downs, taking care of mulching, doing a solid job, not running into any trees so far. We do have to do mulching on field 21 and 6 as well. Good to know. So we're going to get focused here, and I will keep giving you guys some fun updates on how we're progressing. And just picking up a little bit of lime here. Get a good view in here. We can kind of right here. Seeing how much this is going to cost each time today. Should be a pretty good price. Money's not dropping too fast here, so it seems like the right price for lime. 9,000 liters, only $486. So that seems like a pretty smoking deal. And we just about finished the headland before we got over here, so it didn't. I mean, it lasted a lot longer than I thought it was, so super satisfied with that. We're gonna head back out and get the rest of it done, and kind of think it through. Probably should only focus on prepping the fields that we absolutely need to work on in the spring. If we're gonna have to wait till fall to plant the canola, then it's what a tough couple crop types to do crop rotating on. So we might end up not rotating crops the rest of the way through for this challenge. Since we harvest sunflowers after the time frame of planting canola, it makes it real difficult to be able to flip the fields and not lose an entire harvest season. So that'll probably be what we do. And I don't know how much we'll do of mixing in other crops moving forward. We are starting year 5 right now. So this is, the halfway point this year. And I think we need to really start focusing on figuring out how many more fields we need to pull this off. Oh boy. Yeah, you can see that's a little bit there that we did not finish on the headland. Not too bad. So now we're going to figure out where we want to start these ups and downs. And I think I am going to go to the back side of the field so we avoid the other tractor as much as possible. And we're starting in the way back here, and it is almost nighttime. We will be checking the prices of sunflowers here in a minute to see if we want to sell those tonight or if we're going to wait till morning. I think it's probably going to be once the sun rises, and we'll just be able to take a break from some field work until then. But yeah, once I can't see, I'm going to take a break and we'll go from there. Well, snow is coming down here in February. We do need one more load of lime to finish this field. They're making good time with the mulching. Yeah, I'm hoping the snow doesn't stick because we still have a lot of work to do before getting prepped for next month. And it seems like there's been a lot of snow in March every year. So hopefully we have some good luck, good favor our side. I don't know what I'm trying to say there. But yeah, just one more load. We'll get that done. And I think we'll do, I don't know. I've lost track of, I don't want to rant, but if we are going to lose 5% yield every year, there should be an indicator on the field that tells you what cycle you're in so that you know prior to, being surprised when you're done planting because you can't take care of lime after that. So if the thought was we could do lime every year and lose 5% every year, and then all of a sudden the screen changes. I kind of get that, but give me some indicator so I know where we are, especially when you buy a field that says it doesn't need lime. All right, another $486, and that should be enough for us to get finished with this field. It is starting to come down pretty hard, though. I have a feeling this is going to stick today. Crazy that this is... Is this just this map, guys? Let me know. But if things are at an angle and the way the water changes colors, the squares, they got to get rid of squares in this game. Everything can't be a square. And we're waiting for the sunflower oil to come out. If it wants to stop being shy. There it goes. All right, 12,000 liters is what we do have right now. Which isn't a ton. It's not going to be a big payday this time, but this time next year, we should have a real nice payday in sunflower oil. All right, sliding through here. 75 grand. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we definitely have enough money to get through the year now. Pay all our bills and all the expenses we're going to have getting things prepped. But Corn should be, some more dried corn should be good to sell in the summer. We'll make sure we do have propane in the production now that we have a little bit of cash to spend, but I think I'm gonna hunker down until March, and we're gonna have to have multiple tractors doing work to get through the prep. I think we're gonna have multiple days, March and April, of getting planting done this year, at least for spring planting. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I think it's been so frustrating dealing with courseplay that I'm just gonna do all the work myself. So we are gonna plant this big field today in March. We still need to get the mulching done and planting in the field in front of us and the one in the back. So we'll get those probably prioritized in April, depending on how long this takes. I believe we can buy liquid fertilizer right here. We don't run into the trash can. Yes, and this should be a lot cheaper than what we did last time since we overbought. $2,000 for 1,500 liters of fertilizer. I think that's just about right. Oh, the beauty of this big machine here. And some more sunflowers are going in the ground. We will need to get this rolled today, and weeds taken care of too would be ideal. So that might be where we get the second tractor going to help out with taking care of the weeds. But this width, my goodness, it is beyond perfect. So we're making pretty good progress on the field right now, so I thought it would be a good time to get the weeder going. So we'll get a worker going on that, and then I should be able to do the rolling right when we're done seeding or planting. Boy, I think I drive better at cab. Feel the speed more in cab than you do in third person. Yeah, that was way better. All right, let's go ahead and go on a... Well, no, we can't go on a worker because things and stuff with this game. You can't... You have to finish... We'd have to finish seeding to get a worker on here, which is silly, unless they've changed that. Let's go ahead and stop that. I've complained about that enough. Not intentionally complaining today, just... Certain things are just silly to me. And we're going to go first waypoints, let them go. The size of that should not have issues turning around on these fields, especially with doing 3 headlands. And away they go. So that should give them a pretty good head start by the time we get out here with the big roller, which shouldn't take long. I mean, we're just doing our second up and down after doing 2 headlands. I mean, this field feels tiny with this type of equipment. Except for the tiny weeder. And look at this tiny little area to finish up already. Plenty of fertilizer, plenty of seed left over. Time to let them get a little bit farther ahead of us before we're going to be able to get the roller going. But not bad timing at all. Only 9 o'clock and we already have this field planted. We're just cruising. Kind of love the location of this roller, though. We're just able to open it up right here and get going, like so. I don't think we'll worry about the weeder. We'll let them get around us or whatever when we do run into them. I don't think that's something we, have a need to worry about. It's not like they can't weed on top of a rolled field. I don't know what happens if they do, but it's not like it won't work. I'm not sure if it changes the texture is what I meant. Yeah. Let's get it done. Or is this guy backing up? Boy, guys, I struggle with these type of episodes that have a lot of work to do and not a lot of things to talk about, how to fill them in. It's like, do we end up doing, you know, multiple recording sessions for an episode, and it's rough for the schedule to do it that way. So I try to fit in as much rambling as I can in these type of episodes, but don't want it to not be part of the video, kind of like this is. Let me know how everyone's 2026 is starting out. We've had a pretty chaotic one so far. We always knew it was going to be a pretty crazy first quarter of the year for us around Socks Way Up House. Want to know how yours is going? And while we are done, I am actually going to fold up for the first time in a long time a roller on a field and cause some tracks, but that's all right. We're going to let, you know, the good old worker, Bobby, that's who I'm going to call him moving forward. Bobby's working with us. We're going to let him do some weeding. We're going to get some propane and probably just enjoy the rest of our March and do the rest of the work in April because he's going to be in this field for a while. I think he's about halfway done at this point. I think we'll do maybe 50% of this full. $13,000. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just trying not to spend too much. And I was too lazy to do the math today. Thought I'd just come over here, get a little bit of propane, make sure we get that production up and running so we don't miss out on making that money in the summer. I'm tired. Boy. And let's get this dropped off. Make sure the production is running. 53,000 liters of corn to go through still. Yeah, that's hopefully that's enough, but we do have that little bit of dried canola, which we'll probably just leave in there. That's not much money, but we're going to go watch Bobby, see how he's doing. Oh boy, he's got a ways to go. We're going to get through the rest of planting, at least the spring planting, and potentially, I don't know, the summer. And maybe get to fall planting as well. Next episode, we'll see how it goes. I'm Socks Way Up. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one. Well, it's another glorious day here in Ray County on the oil challenge. We're going to sell a little bit of sunflower oil. I did prep the last few fields that have not been mulched, but this is the last thing we're going to do in March. We're going to get to April. We have 2 more fields that we want to get soybeans planted in, and then it's time to, you know, well, we got to do rolling and take care of weeds on those as well. But after that, it's time to kind of just wait for some goods to be at a good price to sell. And then the time of year to plant canola in our remaining 2 fields that we won't have planted yet. And really debating if we're going to expand this year or just kind of do a get by during year 5. It says year 6, but it's definitely year 5. And see where we're sitting and get a full year of just doing the crops for the challenge. Kind of stockpile a decent amount of money. We have a lot of productions we still need to buy. We're back up to $105,000, no debt. So I want to see that continue to grow because we do have some expenses that were expected. You know, we wanted about 14 oil productions, but with the production upgrade mod, I think what we're going to do is maybe do 7 or 8 of them upgraded twice. So doing the math there, that's going to be around $500,000 per unit. We have one of them bought already. So if that leaves us with another at minimum 6 to get, that's $3 million. Yeah, so we need a lot of money. We need a lot of crops. And we're going to see how it goes, but we're going to make it April here. We'll take a look at our sunflowers in the field to the left, make sure everything is good, make sure we didn't forget anything, but then instantly start planting back in the hidden field, as I call it. Field 21. Well, you gotta love this time of year. We can get on the fields before 6 a.m. with the sun being well in the sky already this morning. Now, these 2 fields shouldn't take too long to plant. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get this one planted. We're gonna get the roller on it instantly. I am debating leasing a sprayer to do herbicide this year as kind of a trial run to something that I want to buy long term, just to see if we like it. And I'm also going this direction on the field to see if we can get a little bit closer to that edge just to gain a little bit more yield. We've been kind of neglecting that back corner there because my driving, let's be honest, isn't the best. And we keep running into trees like that. Oh man, someone let me know if there's a mod. But I was gonna say someone needs to create a mod that actually causes damage and causes you to have to repair more. And speaking of that, I think we're looking at the little maintenance bar. We're pretty due to do a little bit of a maintenance cycle here. So maybe after planting, we take a look at our equipment and see, you know, what we need to do to keep everything in good shape. We want to make sure things are running really good throughout this whole challenge. And I do know you do lose a little bit of horsepower, and with the harvesters, I know you lose yield. Otherwise, I'm not sure if you lose anything other than role playing. But we did fill up fertilizer and seed, so we should have more than enough to get this job done today. Yeah, shouldn't take too long to get these fields complete and prepped and planted, I should say. And just double checking that we did have the double application of fertilizer enabled. It looks good. Just a little speck up here to get, and we're already moving on to the second field. Well, we might have got our wish. This thing's looking broke. I might have ran into a tree coming into here. Let's see if it unfolds correctly here. We might have to reset this. That is digging into it. Let's try to pick that up a little bit, see if we can fix it. Boy, boy, boy. Never a dull moment. So we are going to have to shift this over to... All my fault. Not blaming anyone other than me, little old me, on that mishap. But here we go. Get the sunflowers into field number 6 now. These fields that, you know, I've said it a lot, but these fields that felt ginormous originally, when it comes to planting, they're not intimidating. Let's get it done. Another field done. It feels good. Like, this is so fast. Like, guys, this is, I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's get the roller so we can get these 2 fields rolled, and then we will head on into the dealership and see about getting a sprayer. Probably, you know, you have probably an idea of the type I'm going to go for leasing. I don't want, like I said earlier, I want to see the dollar amount keep climbing. We are going to spend a little bit of money on that lease. Though it might make sense to use the line of credit to buy it. Like I said, I don't really want to use the line of credit anymore. I want to just get by. We're making tons of money. You know, we got our sunflowers growing here. We do have 95% yield bonus, so that does tell me that this was not the year we wanted to do lime. So next year we will do lime on every field. So we will lose 5% yield this year just from not doing lime. Got some comments saying, why don't we use precision farming? There was a little bit of an issue I was having, and then I found out that there was a certain mod that I do need to add to make precision farming work on this map. And we're so far into it, I think we're just going to leave it. And we did remove it originally because the contracts weren't working correctly. And we're not doing contracts, so we talked about possibly adding it back. I just want to have one series without it. Kind of how I feel about it. I do love precision farming, but mixing it up. So this is not needed till later in summer with our other 2 fields getting canola put in them. So we'll let it hang out behind this barn here. Yeah, making great time. It's not even 7 a.m. yet. Let's go ahead and back up, hook up to the roller. Looks good. Heard a cat. Sounds like this property came with a cat. Oh, do we need our pups in this series too? I think we do. We might spend some money on that later. And here we go, rolling. Yeah, this should take no time at all. About the same width about the same width. Oh, that's hard for me to say. About the same width as the planter. And one done, heading on over to the next field. We're going to take this route instead of driving over the rolled field. Yeah, I'm recording this on Sunday. I think this is coming out tomorrow, but today is that day, and last night, I guess, was where everyone was waiting for the storm in the U.S. Saw this morning that there was about 800,000 people without electricity in the Texas, Oklahoma area down there, and I'm hoping everyone's safe, hoping everyone's staying warm, and hope all that electricity issues get solved and it doesn't get worse. We're lucky enough up here that we're just dealing with below freezing temperatures and aren't getting hit with the actual snow. So I do feel for the other people around the country. I do have some family in Pennsylvania that's getting hammered pretty bad right now. They're doing their best to stay warm. We're doing the same here. Enjoying some Farming Simulator, staying warm inside the house. Let's get it done. It's not even 8 a.m. We're done. Well, we still got the weeds to take care of, but boy, productive morning. Well, it was a $21,000 lease. This big old case. I think it's called the Patriot. Is that what it was called? Yeah, the Patriot 4450. We're gonna head on over to the co-op and we're gonna get some herbicide. And then we're gonna hit those two fields. This thing has 37-meter width, I believe. I mean, this is pretty beastly. It is $417,000 brand new. So I did want to, give it a shot and see how quickly it feels. Like, what happened back? Oh, we mulched over the lime. I was a little confused. Just taking a look at our field when we drove by. But yeah, so, I want to see how much quicker this feels. We do have that bigger weeder that we can change, but if we just take care of the weeds the same day we plant them, they'll never grow, and it'll look like, I don't like the look of dead weeds is the thing I'm trying to avoid. Like if we sprayed all these right here, man, it would still be ugly. Like this field over there looks beautiful, just the crop. That's what we're going for. So we'll see. I'm hoping it's not a little bit too wide for the smaller field in the back there, 21. But if it is, we'll get by. We'll figure it out. Never used one of these, or at least this case one. Seems pretty roomy in here. Regular steering wheel here. All the joysticks there. Looks like a little phone. Is that a phone mount? Quite a few dashboards here. Looks like a phone up here too. Look at that. Fancy stuff. But I believe the same place that we can get our liquid fertilizer, we can get herbicide. And I'm gonna do, let's get this to about 50% full and we'll see. We'll come back for more if we need it. Oh, I didn't know how to stop it. There we go. A little more than we wanted. We did spend $5,800 on that. We'll do this field first here. I did want to remind myself, we do have till August, okay, to plant. It's when we can plant the canola, so keeping this lease that long would not be ideal. If we were able to and swing it, well, we could swing it financially, but I just don't think it's worth it. The rate isn't dropping too bad there. Definitely think we bought enough product to get these two fields done. 15 miles an hour. Yeah, this is beautiful. Could adjust the width here to save a little bit, but not too concerned. And just like that, we're done with one field. My goodness, it's still 8:30. So this tells me, like they're the smaller fields, but we can handle, we have the right equipment, more fields, even without using workers. So we probably could have planted a whole nother field here and done all the treatments on it and still had time left over here in April. I know we are using speed override a little bit, but even if we didn't, I think it would probably be about noon right now, which means we definitely could have one more. One of the things I've always thought about doing with speed override is playing at times 6 or times 10, just to kind of even things out. And I kind of think it might be something to do when I just don't know if it makes a difference. We don't use the bulk of every day usually on this series, at least. All right, one more field to go, and then we're gonna skip some time, and we're probably gonna get all the planting done this episode. We're gonna get all the way to August and get that done. I mean, those of you that are curious, recording time right now is 38 minutes real time to do what we've done so far, including rambling and prepping. Yeah, the beauty of this one is we did not use speed override and we're already done. Like 16, 15 miles an hour, absolutely perfect. Case IH Patriot. We're going to be looking for used ones. We'll see if one pops up and we will use the line of credit at that point if that does happen. If not, we'll wait till we have enough money to just fund it ourselves. But heading back to the farm to drop off our leftover product here, and then we will get this returned. And the only other things we really need to do is make sure we have enough propane for the corn. I want to see how things are going at the oil production. See how, if we've ran out yet, just to kind of see how that's going at level 2. And then we're going to, you know, kind of just breeze all the way to selling the corn in July if it does peak like we expect. And then get into August to get the last 2 fields planted. Let's check the used market. What's in there right now? Yeah, nothing for us. All right, let's see what's going on in here. We still have 2,500 propane, 23,000 corn. I think we're going to have enough to get by. And over here at the oil mill, we still have 57,000 liters of canola, 34,000 liters of sunflowers to go through. And at the logistics distribution center, we can see that there's 68,000 liters of lettuce already, 4,600 oil of sunflower, and canola has 20,000 liters. Time-saving stock check shows us at $455,000 worth of goods right now. Again, the dried corn, we're taking a look at this price. It is going down, but I have a feeling in the next few months it will get close to that peak, and we'll make a little bit more cash today. All right, we do have a little bit of extra propane, and we are done with corn here in May. And at this point, we're just going to kind of take a look at prices here. Yeah, they should start coming up. Hopefully in June, it says it peaks. So we'll see. If not, we'll put them away. And take a little peek at used machines. This wouldn't be bad, but I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. All right, prices are above peak, so let's go sell some dried corn. Yeah, sunflowers are looking good over here. Can't wait to get to some canola in this field in a couple months. All right, here we go. First load, and then we'll have a tiny little, about 10,000 to come bring back, I believe, on the second load. 83,000 there brings our balance up to $155,000. Oh, it looks like the second trip's only going to be 4,000 liters. That's all right. And a little extra payday here. Another 7,800, 7,600. I don't know what numbers I'm seeing, guys, but we're at 163. It's time to just kind of pay attention to the used market and get to August. I am keeping an eye on this field here. 80% bonus. Looks like just weeds need to be taken care of to get that up a little bit higher. And some corn in it. It's about 87,000, I believe, for this field. 98,000, so not too pricey. So when it comes time to harvest, we'll see how Noah did with that. Sunflower's looking pretty awesome right here. We do have a 95% bonus here. We always knew that. But like I said, time to get ready for August. You guys are gonna think I did this. I did not. Okay, we are going to take out $233,000 of the line of credit. That's hilarious. We are going to draw $230,000, and we're going to come in here and we are going to purchase this. We have double. We want the narrow tires. We definitely want the narrow tires, but it is ours. Wow. You know, I wonder how often there's been things that I would want to buy that have popped up that I've just like not been paying attention to, because that was just too perfect. Unlike my driving. Yeah, this feels small now. That's hilarious. I think we'll do 3 headlands. We do have canola selected. And away we go. Yeah, what a difference. I mean, it's still gonna get the job done pretty quickly. So I think this is our first time planting this field. We bought it late last year. It was already planted, had corn in it. So it'll be interesting cruising around this. And I kind of want to see if there are areas where I want to remove trees and extend the field a little bit. Gonna start really starting to think about maximizing some of those. but there are a lot of dips in the terrain that make it seem like this field might be intentionally the way it is for a reason. All right, I think 3 headlands might have been a little excessive for this size of a field, but it's working good. Getting close to doing the ups and downs next. And I think like this map is making me want to possibly revisit planting by doing the ups and downs first again. You know, some of them, it just doesn't make sense to me because of I like doing it this way. I have done it this way since I started playing the game, but it seems to have make a little bit more sense to me to do the ups and downs here. And then you just clean up what you need to clean up in the headlands, and then based on how you turned around would determine how many headlands you do in planting. So might be an adjustment we make just to give it a shot next time around. But getting low on some diesel here. We're gonna gamble, see if we can get this field planted without having to fill up yet. Well, we had enough diesel, we had enough fertilizer, we had enough canola seed. We got it done. We're gonna double check the horsepower on our other tractor to see if we can seed with it so we can do the rolling and kind of start doubling down what we're doing. So let's go ahead and head in. We'll take a look at that, but not bad. Looking great, actually. This is sweet. 1 field to go, planting-wise. A little bit of field maintenance we got to do to both the fields still, but boy, we're getting real close to year 5's harvest season already. All right, the seeder does require 300 horsepower, and we only have 234. We're gonna spend some money. It would not be one of our episodes if I said early on we're gonna save cash and we end up spending a ton of it. The fast track is ours. We still have 129,000. I did only take out 200 extra thousand, so we should have $430,000 in debt right now. And we do know by what we saw already in time-saving stock check, we have more than that already to be made this year. The canola fields will not be harvested until year 6, summer. So that's something to keep in mind. But boy, this thing flies. Well, what's the horsepower on this? I should have paid attention to that. Our JCB does have 306 horsepower. And the roller only requires 275, so we are going to use that. Let's go ahead. We'll hook up to this. We're going to go get some diesel. Then we're going to get a worker working on it on the other field that needs planted. I think we have enough fertilizer for that field. We're going to gamble that. Actually, I think we have fertilizer. Let's just go fill it up at the shed, get some diesel, get them going. We'll get the roller on the JCB, roll both fields, and then just have to spray some weeds. Oh yeah, no reason to risk it when we have product just sitting over here. Just back up. That solid fertilizer in here as much as we can, might as well. And while we're here, we'll put as much seed as we can too. Lots of hills. This one is a really hilly field. So both directions here, we're having to climb uphill, get to the center, and then we'll go downhill on the other end. But once you turn around, we're gonna have to climb again. So we are dropping down to about 8 and 9 miles an hour, which is the default anyways. So going good. I think they will get the seeding done before we get done here, or it's gonna be pretty close to where we can have a worker do the rolling on the other field while we just have the weeds to take care of. We are on tornado watch now. And just kind of looking around. This is a big map. I don't know if it's going to be in our area. But trying to get this rolling done before it gets too wet out here. I'll let you know if we do see that tornado. Yeah, it looks like they're starting on the headlands over here. We are just going to get this in a position to hand over to a worker momentarily. I'm going to jump in the sky, though. Try to find this tornado while we wait for our worker to get done here. Now I'm going to try to find it naturally, but then I think they show up on the map. I don't see any. Maybe they don't work on this map. Maybe we've noticed this before. Yeah, not seeing anything. Let's take a look. Does it show here? I wasn't sure. It's like for 2 hours, so I don't know if it just hasn't formed yet. But no, I don't see anything that indicates where it is. And I don't know what the render distance is, so I'm kind of trying to fly around the whole map here. Oh, look at this field. I don't think we've been out here yet. And while we're waiting for that to finish, I might as well drive this home. Go get the herbicide that we have in stock already. See if it's enough for these 2 fields. I think it will be. But this is ours. It has 40 hours on it, but it looks like maintenance was taken care of by the dealership before they sold it to us. Boy, this thing flies too, man. 2 nice upgrades today. And we went ahead and skipped through the storm. Let the fields dry out a little bit and finish the planting myself here. We are all set. We're just going to get this out of the way for now. We'll get it home later on. And we'll go ahead and let the JCB get started out here. All right, they should be all set now. Getting started there. We're ready to do the same here on field 16 with our own sprayer this time. Yeah, 1300 should be plenty for these 2 fields. 15 miles an hour. Beautiful. Now we do have a little tricky areas, 2 tricky areas where will be interesting to see how well this fits. But I have a sneaking suspicion, oh, we're gonna have to do this whole area by ourselves back here, that we're gonna get this done way faster than they get the rolling done. But we'll try to take care of that while they're finishing rolling and not run into them. Pretty eventful day. Okay, I was wrong. Nowhere near enough herbicide. So we'll be heading in getting more, but that'll give them plenty of time to finish rolling, so looking good. We'll probably just do a full load now that this is ours. We will go through it eventually. They really already working on the headlands. Nice. So a little expense here, but we've got money for it. Yeah, almost $9,000. But like I said, we will go through it. Not wasted, not at all. And I think while I'm here, we're just going to splash this field real fast, and then we can finish the other one. Shouldn't interfere with any of their work over there. Oh, they're going to go that way, though. We're going to run right into them. All right, we'll stop. We'll turn around and go the other way. And we're going to stop right here so they can get by us once they turn around. And gave them plenty of runway. Be out of our way now. They should be, you know, yeah, they're making good time there. So we're going to go straight and make a left turn to avoid the trees, and then we'll have to back up to turn around. Like so. Beautiful piece of equipment. My goodness. Love it. And turn it back on. Little wasted material here, but all is good. They're done rolling. We just got to finish spraying this field and the next. And just silly. Look at those weeds not dying, even though that's hitting them. Now, we were talking about the edge of the fields not actually being the edge of the fields for whatever reason on this map. There's our proof right there. All done with this one. Hopefully 4,000's enough to finish the bigger field. Come back for our equipment later on. And we are finishing up the last task of the day. Boy, it'll be exciting to see how many sunflowers we do get to harvest there, what the yield's going to be like in those 3 fields coming next episode. Like I said earlier, I hope everyone's safe during this crazy winter storm. And until next time, I'm Socks Way Up. I appreciate every single one of you. I will catch you on the next episode. Today we have a few sunflower fields to harvest, but we needed fuel for the harvester. And naturally, I had to spend $90,000 on a truck to be able to fill up the harvester. Now I know it sounds funny, but I wanted it. I wanted a truck. I was tired of driving around in tractors all the time. So we did spend $90,000 on this truck and $28,000 on the fuel trailer. But boy, we're gonna be able to get around a lot quicker when we're moving goods around. We'll probably end up getting an upgraded trailer long term, and I might get a gooseneck hookup in here as well, so we can get, you know, the 5th wheel attachment. The roads are a little slick right now. We had a little bit of rain this morning, but we're gonna make our way to the co-op, get some fuel, and get instantly started on harvesting our big sunflower field here in October. Field 18 is ready. You can kind of see it in the background there. Looking good. But yep, like I said, first things first, we got to make sure we have some fuel. And it'll be nice to just have this around so we don't have to constantly drive all the way to the co-op just to fill up. And let's, oh man, look at this view in cab. A little low. I wish we were sitting a little higher, but the interior of this looks great. Now $17,000 still in our account, and we did take out a little bit of the line of credit to be able to pay for the trailer. So I'm a little hesitant to completely fill this up, but we're gonna go through it eventually. And you know, 3,700 liters of diesel costs us about $5,000, $4,600 to be exact. But we have plenty of capacity now to just, we'll utilize it. It's not going to go to waste. It will be interesting to see how much I don't even know how much the harvester holds. So this could be way overkill, and I think it probably is. But like I said, I definitely wanted this around so that we didn't have to drive back and forth. We can just grab the truck, grab the trailer, bring it to the harvester or whichever tractor is low on fuel, and fill it up. I think it'll be a good process. And we should be able to just back up right here, get it all hooked up and filled up. And it looks like this does hold 1,250 liters. So a good amount of this will get gone through today, but that's all right. That should get us by until, gosh, at least harvesting the canola over here in the field back there. Well, all the canola fields, both of them. But yeah, these are definitely ready. Approximately 107,000 liters of sunflowers today we're going to be harvesting. Boy, you're doing your job there, Scarecrow. You scared me. All right, looks like it's done, and probably not best to leave the truck right there. Let's get it out of the way. And for now, I'll just park it right under here. And in the field, here we go. Little foggy this morning, but I think that will clear up with time as the day goes on. Harvester's doing a good job here. I talked about maintenance last episode. I don't think we quite need it yet. Definitely soon. I would be surprised if one of those sheds over there doesn't actually work as a what are they called? A workshop? But it may not. We may need to get a workshop of our own eventually, so we don't have to go to the dealership to get everything done. But man, the ground's looking soft here. We're digging into it pretty good. There was a rainstorm this morning, like I mentioned. So hopefully everything's processing good. And looking at the weather report, we have till about 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 before the next storm's gonna hit. So we got to use our time wisely here. In October, we're going to get through this one. We're going to want to instantly drop them off at the distribution center. We're not going to store the sunflowers in our old silo back there, the dryer. We're going to go right to the distribution unit so it can start distributing to the oil productions. And you can't even see them. There's so much fog right now. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the background now. But yes, so we'll get this going. I'm not sure if I'll do auto drive or do this all myself, but we might do a regular worker and hand over for the grain cart operation to me today. I think this will be our first time with the extension on the grain cart. So it should be pretty good. And boy, we're almost done with one headland, 70% full here. I am gonna pull over and head on over to the John Deere and get the grain cart. Though I think I'm gonna want to switch tractors on here just so we have a little bit more horsepower pulling the heavy grain cart around. And we'll see if there's enough room to do a little swapperoo right here. Should be fine. Got the JCB underneath cover as well as our new Case IH sprayer. Yeah, that works out pretty good. We'll be able to just pull this in and put it under cover now. Now, if we're cool, we can just back this all the way up and be perfect. And don't mind the fact that there's a tire missing on the harvester right now. It's there. You guys, your eyes are playing tricks on you. We go. You know, not the best, not the worst. But we pulled that off pretty well. All right, so we can leave that there for now, and most likely the next time we come around on the headland, we can unload it again. That'll help us out pretty much until we hand this over to a worker to finish it for us. But glad to see that this grain cart's gonna operate or work perfect for this operation here. And back at it, we'll finish both these headlands and then we'll hand over to a worker at that point. And we'll probably take the first load to the production yard, the distribution center, when we do that handoff. Now, I wanted to see if we had any information already on field 18, and I think we added this mod afterwards, so we should see the yield history show up here. I don't know when it does. Oh, there it is, starting to show up now. 21,000 so far. Pretty good, 22,000. So that is now starting to take place, and we'll be able to see our history over time on these fields. And the reason why that's going to be important is we are going to do a calculation today after harvesting these 3 fields and determine how many years we'd have to keep going to get to 1 million liters of sunflowers if we decided to stop production and just stockpile it, or shrinking the amount of years because we are, finishing up year 5 right now. We would only have 4 more years to get the product ready. So the dollar amount, not the dollar amount, the liter amount is going to be pretty important today to see, is it time to just bust through 4 years of harvest, or do we need to get more fields still? So hoping by the end of today we know that answer for sunflower. And then when it comes time to harvesting canola, we're going to do the same song and dance for that and figure out how many more fields for those we need. We talked about it, I think, a couple episodes ago, that these fields are going to be dedicated to the crop type moving forward. We're just ignoring crop rotation for this challenge. To be honest, it's not a very realistic challenge, so taking some things like crop rotation out of the equation seems to be, what's going to need to be done. And while I was driving myself there, I'm going to clean up some of these edges so that the workers don't have to worry about it as much, and just make sure we don't miss anything. And we're just going to head back over there. And I hope this doesn't mess up because I do plan on using the AI assist, the regular steering assist. And I hope it doesn't mess that up by cutting into these passes a little bit. But we might be at full capacity of this trailer already. Another reason I wanted to head back this way was to unload easier and swap out with our worker. Not hit the trailer. Don't hit the trailer. So now we can see that we have 39, almost 40,000 liters harvested already. Looking good. All right, officially handed over, and we're going to be in their way right away, aren't we? All right, we have 39,000 liters in here. We knew that was going to be the case, so let's go drop them off and see how everything is doing at the production yard. It's been a few months since we've been over there to check on the productions to make sure they still have goods. I wouldn't be surprised if we ran out of sunflower now that we do have that at level 2, the 1 oil production that we have. And we'll get it back up into production if it is empty right now. So it would be kind of nice if it's not. That means that we're definitely producing more sunflower than we can burn through in our productions, which is what we want to see. And that's really going to be the indicator that it's time to start expanding that part of the operation as well. We got a lot that we need that we talked about last episode about, I think it's about $3.5 million still to spend on productions. But we don't want to buy those if they're just going to sit idle. Plenty of other things we could spend our money on. So we will go straight to the distribution center, and then we'll make sure it is distributing sunflowers so that it does go to the production. All right, so get that going, and we'll talk to the manager in here about that distribution. All right, so we do have all of the sunflowers in there, and I think it might have... Yeah, it looks like it did distribute them already. There's only 563 in there right now. Oh, where did they go? I think I know where they went. So canola is out. What? Oh, okay, we had some issues. What happened over here? The sunflowers, I think. Okay, first things first, we gotta learn what we're doing here. So we want to go, to make things work, we're gonna do something here. We are going to, we know this is empty, we are going to sell it and get almost $200,000 back. We're done with trying. We're getting serious about the things we need to get serious about here. So now, let's go back into the oil mill, and we're gonna turn off canola, because that is definitely burnt through already. I'm going to attempt to reload all of these sunflowers, and I want to make sure this is working right, because I definitely want to make sure we're distributing and not... Oh, I don't have bulk loading. I'd make sure we're distributing it to the right place, and I don't want to always have to drop it off at an individual oil production. We only have one right now, so we're kind of learning the process when the time comes. Okay, we should have 39,000 liters in there now. Let's go ahead and do this so that they don't spawn anymore. So we've blocked our pallets from spawning, and really the key to this challenge is going to be that this distribution does evenly work. So we might get a second one here soon to test that out. Probably next year. Okay, so 39,000. It should be set correctly. So let's go ahead and get time rolling. And at 10 o'clock, we should see a decent amount of this disappear. So I'm just going to stare at this wall so I can see the number on the bottom right. It did not. Only a tiny amount. It has over 1,000 here. So, yeah, decent. I guess that'll be okay. So I think that's working all right. Let's go check on the harvester. They probably need unloaded at this point. That took a little bit more time than we anticipated, though I'm not sure what they're doing. Like what? They've got... They weren't supposed to do any headlands. Are they just like driving around here aimlessly? Let's double check this configuration. Work headlands off. Oh boy, that was lost production. So they get to a spot and they just stop. I just don't know what to think, guys. So we will do courseplay instead. All right, they are getting going here finally. And it looks like this is where they're gonna start. We are gonna do lands. So it should allow us to free up the field and open it up pretty good here. And that's way too fast. Go about like that. All right, we can start unloading them. They don't really need it yet, but I do want to just, you know, enjoy the process. All right, I think while we let them do some work, we are going to take the, yes, I want the 8R. We're gonna grab everything we have remaining from the other property and get it over here. Oh, we've come so far since we used this old cultivator. Could get a little bit of cash for it, but I don't think that's necessary. Now, even if the tractor can't fit, I think we can sneak this cultivator in here. Oh, the tractor can fit in this one. Oh, good. This one's more useful than I thought. Perfect. That's a great spot for it. And the spreader, we don't have any goods sitting around, so that's good. We have a little bit of seed there. I mean, we're moving in. It took us some time, but we're getting there. That one's put away. Now, these other ones, since we do have plumbing installed in the greenhouse, we don't need either of these other trailers over here. They can do water, and one of them can do propane. So I think we're probably just going to sell those. So this should be one of the last things we need. But we're going to do it the old dirty way. We're going to sell it in here, 3,400 for that one. And then the bigger tank should bring in a little bit more cash. Yeah, 15,000. Okay. We can also, while we're thinking about it, go ahead and sell our tents, get 200 bucks for that. And our shed here is going to bring in 4,300. Nice. Okay. So now we're going to need to come back for a little bit of seed and the pressure washer. Then we're going to return this field into its former glory. Well, this is an interesting dilemma, but we'll go ahead and put that like that. And then this we'll be able to put in here. I wanted to, you know, be smooth about this, but I guess that didn't happen. Seems like the bed of that truck isn't quite configured correctly. And we'll just back up in the driveway. Oh, it looks pretty here besides that. So now it's time to make this look a little bit better. Okay, now that it's somewhat smoothed out, we should... Well, that looks terrible. That's still crazy over here. Okay, that feels a little bit better. We're going to go into easy dev controls. We're going to go to the field one. We're going to select ground, and we're just going to hit confirm. Oh, maybe we need to change this. Is this not going to work? It's not going to transform it back? Let's try this way. Ground type, we'll do stubble. There we go. Okay, that did it. So now when we hop into the sky here, we can see the original field is back now. And we're going to go in here, and we're going to sell. It's only $37,000, but we'll take it. We'll take it. And I do not understand what they're doing on this course. I set it up for multiple vehicles. Okay. So we'll have to do the right side next time. So they're going to do half of the harvest right now, and then the other half when we restart it. Not too bad. I think I set it to two tools, 2 vehicles instead of 2 headlands. Oh, they're coming right at us. Back up for you. Where are you going? Taking this personal at this point. And of course, they're in the middle of one when we want to come unload them. So we'll follow them to the other side of the field now. And once they turn around, we'll be able to unload them. Never a dull moment on the channel, guys. We got this. And what are they? We never gonna see the right... I don't understand the render issue with this. All of a sudden. Anyways, they're going up the middle again. So I don't know. I don't know. Well, I got them unloaded, and being patient with my mistake of courseplay, I am going to go unload this and let them kind of just finish the right side. I think they have enough capacity to, or finish the left side, and then we'll get the right side going. And gosh, that rendering issue of the back tires, I might swap out that harvester. Let me know what you guys think. And before I dump this, I do want to see how the distribution's been going. Okay, 35,000 here. And we do have 2,300 over here. So it is moving enough every time it distributes to keep the process alive. Now, if we upgrade those to level 6 or so, will it still? I don't know. So long term, our source of truth for whether or not we have capacity is going to be the distribution center, not the productions, because they're just going to have what they have, not the full amount that they could have. And officially back at it here. Going a little bit too quick for them there, but we'll get lined up here. Get them unloaded. And it kind of ruined my plan. I was going to start mulching, but we'll have to hold off on that until November at this point. But overall, should be a pretty good yield. We'll see how close we get to that 100,000 liter mark that we saw before at the beginning of the episode. But I will rejoin you when the harvest is complete. Well, good morning, November. We are starting the next harvest already, and I just wanted to come over here and check on the production while we had a chance. 36,000 liters over here. It is absolutely distributing the way we need it to. And checking out what we have in stock over here is still 59,000 sunflowers. We have 31,000 sunflower oil, almost 50,000 canola oil, and 236,000 lettuce. And last thing before we get to the next harvest, we did get 111,000 liters out of field number 18, and we have started the harvest on field 21. Best year, yeah, we'll see how it compares. But let's head on over there. We need to get in the grain cart because we do have the harvester already going, and I will also probably be making a call here to get a worker going on mulching the big field we just harvested last month. Fog is thick this morning, but I think we'll get by. We're gonna park over here by the co-op so that we can get in the JCB to get going with the harvest and help them out, but I don't think we might have a little bit of time before we need to do that. Let's see. 28,000 is the expected harvest. We should be able to handle that without a grain cart operator. I am gonna head home and get the 8R going on the mulching. And then we can return over here, empty the harvester, and help them get across the streets. Because the last field we need to harvest is field 6. And boy, we are dangerously close to the end of year 5. That dang scarecrow, it gets me every time. All right, so we need to find our big boy tractor, get it on the mulcher and get that rolling. I don't see it there. I think it's back. Oh no, that's the... We're gonna do this live. We're gonna try to find it. That's the smaller John Deere is back in the... Well, let's just look. Already getting too many different areas to look for goods. Look for our equipment. It's confusing me. Yeah, that's gonna be the smaller one, right? Yeah, the 6R. Oh, well, where did we put the 8R at? Probably becoming super obvious that this is the second part of a recording session, or the second recording session. I have no clue. I was trying to avoid tabbing, guys. Oh, look at that. We put it away. Now we'll just back up, get hooked up to the mulcher, get them rolling, and hopefully that other harvest doesn't take too long. That's a small field compared to the one we just did. And we're going to look at that total. I have a feeling we're going to be under 200,000, which gets me roughly close to what I'd be comfortable with, but I think we need one more decent size sunflower field. All right, we're going to trust a regular worker here to see how they do. Get it done. Oh, we started on ups and downs. That's why. Ah, that's my mistake. Ooh, we'll let them continue on their way. And we want to come to our line of credit and make a sizable payment. We are going to do 200,000 right now. And that'll bring our balance down to 254,000, which we will absolutely be paying off very soon. You know, really once the next good is at a good price, which according to time-saving stock check, it's canola oil. And canola oil is close to its peak right now. Technically above the peak price. I think that means we're gonna, take a little break here, grab the trailer. And it absolutely gives us something to do while we're waiting for that harvest to get done. Love the multitasking. And we're going to find out if we can pull off just getting the canola oil out, because my distributing trick did not work. So I think there's another mod that we could enable and download and enable to help us with that. I did get a comment about that. I haven't looked into it yet. But if we have to put a little bit of sunflowers back in, we'll deal with that when it happens, if it happens here. Okay. Let's see if we can do this right. I think we're going to get a bunch of sunflowers, though. So we want to come in here and let's look at what we have things as. Lettuce is distributing, so it won't come out. We know that. We've seen that. Yeah, I mean, everything else is set up the way it should be. So I think we're just misunderstanding this. So let's get the canola oil set to storing and just kind of deal with the sunflowers if they come out. And I will use, I mean, it's going to be 59 pallets. I guess we'll just use auto load to take care of that if it becomes an issue here. All right, we're going to pull forward just in case. It looks like, I'm wondering if we just switched that to distributing too late last time and weren't paying attention. But we got all the canola oil we have, at least the full pallets. So we'll go get those sold this morning. All right, anybody using this combo, you got to drive super slow and not tip it. I just had the most fun time fixing this issue when it tipped over right now. A little too much torque in this truck for me, I think. Okay, finally making it over here. And we just brought in another basically $286,000. And we're going to get out of debt again. Feels good. We are going to park over here. They're getting dangerously close, I believe, to doing the headlands over here. Honestly, I'm not really sure what they're doing right now. But let's pay off that line of credit. Let's go ahead and make another payment here. We will pay in full, and it feels good to be out of debt again and still have $93,000. And while we're thinking about it, anything good on the used market here that we could use? Not really. And you know, sometimes you just try to trust automation, but have a hard time when it's going the way it's been going today for me. This field should not have been set up with lands, and I should have done headlands first. But that's all right. We'll go ahead and get it done now. Oh, we're absolutely going to need the grain cart. I was thinking about the grain cart's capacity, not the harvester, so I don't think we'll get back to the end, so we're going to have to do a little bit of unloading in the crops here, but maybe we won't. Maybe we'll avoid it. No one wants to see that. Oh, maybe we'll get to this little opening right here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll make a left turn here, and then we'll be able to get right back into the field. There we go. All right, that's all unloaded. We can get back at it, I think. I think we can. All right, that was the messiest harvest I've ever done. Like, ever. I think my first harvest on Elms Creek was cleaner than that. Oh my goodness. And then I shut the harvester off. We're struggling tonight. We're getting this unloaded though. Let's take a look at the report. See how we did this year on this harvest. And we are on field 6. No. What field are we on, guys? 21. Hey, a little increase. We got 2,000 more this year. I don't know how that happened, but we will take it. Well, that was a nice surprise. 29,000 is way more, you know, 2,000 more. That's awesome. That's going to give us a whole extra 1,000 liters of oil, which in turn is like, what, 5 grand, I think, with the sunflower oil. So that's pretty awesome. Maybe a little less than that, but looking on the bright side, we are going to give this a third shot at courseplay today. And we're going to do it real slow here. So we're going to kill that last one. We're going to open this up, and we're going to go one tool, one headland on this field. And we will do lands, and we'll go ahead and generate it. But I also want to, we need to change this to start work on headland and start job. And over here, regular worker. It's been at it for a while. And I'm failing to see it. So they started with the headland, okay. So they're done with the headlands. All right, so we thought they'd be done with a lot more than that by now. So we had a little left over in the grain cart from the last harvest, so we do see 30,000 here. But we'll get that dropped off as well and help finish this last harvest. Seems like they're already on their merry way and going. Love to see it. All right, this is working lovely, guys. I love this distribution. All right, dropping the goods off. Now we're heading back. And I don't know if we did sunflowers here yet. All right, some sense of normal here. We are unloading for the first time here on field 6. And doing lands is working absolutely great. We did one headland to get them around. They seem to be doing pretty good avoiding trees and bushes when they're doing their turns. So all is good. But we're going a little faster than them up that hill. Yep. Pretty nice. I didn't look at the expected yield here. I think we will take a look at the old data if we did sunflowers last time. I don't think we did in this field, but we'll double check after this pass. So we kind of know what to expect and have a little target that we're hoping to hit. All right, we should be good yielding right here. And now over to the checker here, or the tracker. 17,000 doesn't feel... That's this year. Okay, so we did not do it last year. I think we do have some data on corn. Yeah, 101,000 liters of corn. I imagine we're going to get a lot less sunflowers than we did corn, but it'll be nice to see the difference. And yeah, that rendering issue, boy, we're going to have to look for a replacement, I think. And we're fairly close over here and have 35,000. I think the harvester is going to be able to finish without us unloading it again. So yeah, the yield on sunflowers is tiny compared to corn, it seems. You can see what we have left. So we're going to drop this off and come back, and hopefully they'll be close to being done and we can unload them. Can't wait to get to the canola harvest and get the data for that. But yeah, we're super close to looking at the totals for the 3 fields and building a game plan. Because come spring, we're going to want to get these replanted and whatever amount of fields we want to purchase as well to add to it. We want those planted as well. So we got plenty in capacity over here still. A lot to distribute over there. It's where I have a feeling if we did the math on all this, that production is not going to burn through it, and that's okay. We can start building the stockpile now. It's never too early to start building that extra inventory towards 1 million sunflowers. All right, we are unloading the harvester here for the last time of the sunflower harvest. Our field data should be up to date, 34,000. So while we're driving in, let's talk a little bit about the data here. We have 175,377 liters of sunflowers that we harvested. Pretty much want to double that number. So we're going to take a look at some fields, and we're going to look at the acreage that we have in these fields, figure out what that is, and then that should help us determine if there is a field that we can purchase or if it's multiple. But that'll definitely help us with the game plan. So the fields in play are 18, 6, and 21. So 18 is going to be well, that just shows size. Let's visit it. We're going to have to do some math here. So we have 26.13 acres. In 6, we have 10.58 acres. In 21, we have 6.92 for a total of 17.5. Is that right? What happened there? 17.5 plus 26.13. So we have 43 acres. So 5 would not quite do it, but 5 and 17 are going to get us really close. So I think that might be the game plan here. So that's 310 plus another 100. So about $410,000 in fields just for our sunflowers. And I think after we sell the lettuce, let's check time saving stock check. Yeah, we'll definitely have enough after selling the lettuce, but boy, oh boy, eventful day here. We have a plan right now for sunflowers. We have 18, 6, and 21. And I think we're going to buy 17 and 5 to add to that. And then probably next, well, a couple episodes from now, we'll get to these 2 canola harvests and figure out the gap there. I'm hoping the gap there is a little less because it yields better, but we will find out. This is going to conclude year 5 of the oil challenge. We're halfway there. Let's see if we can pull it off in 5 more years or less. I'm Socksway Up. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next episode. Want to see me make $1 million in like 10 seconds? And there we have it. We are over $1 million. Wasn't the most graceful way to show that, but want to see me spend a bunch of it just as fast? I'll take this. I'll take this. We'll upgrade this. We'll purchase that. We'll sell this. Purchase this. And we'll buy that. Now, if you think I may have lost my mind, you might be right, but we just burnt through a whole bunch of money. We got some duplicated equipment, so we can do our job a lot faster. We're gonna have a lot more fields. We're gonna need to get through the work a lot faster. We have 1 day a month to do work, so didn't want to change any of that. Okay. Are we overpowered here? Or underpowered, I should say. A lot of weight, pulling 48.6 tons here. We're gonna go start spreading some lime on our new fields, get them prepped. We gotta do all the fields today. And we'll do that until we don't have daylight, and then get to February and get all the way to starting to plant. And then when it comes time to start planting, we will have the JCB on the new planter we just purchased, and we will have the John Deere 8R on our original planter. So we'll get multiple fields done. We'll use the new one on the smaller fields and the existing one on the bigger fields. And that should work out pretty nice. $134,000 left. Should be more than enough cash to get us by. Oh, it looks like they planted something in field 20. I'm interested. Lose our momentum in that tractor. Look at that. They got some wheat growing. Noah has planted wheat. Good for him. Well, if you're new to the channel, we are in Ray County, Missouri. This is the oil challenge. We are attempting to make 1 million liters of oil. It's going to be a combination of sunflower oil and canola oil in 1 calendar year. The goal is to get that done by year 10. We are starting year 6 right now. So we've just passed the halfway points, and we're getting to the point where we think now we have enough fields for sunflowers. When we harvest our canola in the summer, we'll find out then how many more fields we need for canola. Now, we're going to have to save up some of that product. We're not going to be able to harvest 1 million liters of each. It is a 1-to-2 ratio, or 2-to-1 ratio, I guess I should say, of input to output. So 2 pieces of sunflower, or 2 liters of sunflower, will produce 1 liter of sunflower oil. And the same ratio for the canola. So I do remember, oh, we gotta unfold it, that's right. Struggling a hair with speed on this until the weight gets a little bit lower. So we'll get going here, get the lime put down. I have no idea how much lime this is gonna take. And with all the purchasing that we did, the dealership was friendly enough to give us a little bit extra, or free lime. I don't see anything wrong with that personally. I think that was really nice of them. But we're still at 40. Yeah, it's starting to drop now. We dropped. Yeah, okay, now we can see tiny in the corner there, the bottom corner. You can see the tonnage. I don't think this is going to be enough for this field, and boy, this is a big one. But this field's really going to tip us over what I think we need to pull this off. Let's get the liming sessions done. I'll keep you guys updated on anything and any progress along the way. I decided to give the John Deere a shot here. It does have a little bit more horsepower. We're struggling through this ground. Seems pretty soft out here. You see the tires are just slipping. Yeah, the JCB was getting down to about 6 miles an hour climbing that hill, getting up to 10 now. But for every time you go uphill, there's always a downhill. Let's pick up some speed here. And ooh, this loop's gonna be interesting. Come back and finish that backside and miss a little bit, but we'll get all the little tiny spots we miss. So what we're doing right now is putting some lime down to make sure we get 100% yield bonus. The field doesn't necessarily need it, but what we've been doing is treating these a little bit early. You know, we do lose 5% yield every year that we don't lime, so we wanted to make sure we kind of avoid that 5% or 10%, 15% loss and make sure we can maximize, you know, our yield. So we're not doing it every year. We are taking a little, you know, 5% loss every other year. But it's been working out good. Now we're cruising. There we go. Down to 31 tons. This thing's just heavy. Getting ready for a winter sunset here. Hopefully there's not a ton of snow in February and March and we'll be able to make some progress. And we actually got way more done than I thought we would on that first load. We're going to go fill up by a lot more lime because we have this field to our left to do, which also looks like we do need to mulch it still. We have the big field connected to the farmyard. We can see way in the distance there. And then this field over here to the right, or now in front of me as well. So 3 more fields that we do need to apply lime on. And I have a feeling we'll be back here at least one more time after this. But over here at the co-op, we can buy it in bulk. Pretty good price on this map. There we go. That's embarrassing. There we go. Now it's good. And I think since we know we're gonna have to come back, I'm gonna just pull away here at 78% full, and it's just gonna keep going there. All right, so that did cost us $1,000, but that is a lot of lime. A lot of lime. It looks like we are gonna struggle even at this weight, but we'll get by. And it seemed like a good transition time to get a worker going on mulching the field for us. And while they do that, we'll head back to the field, finish putting the lime down. You can definitely see now what we have left to spread. It shouldn't take up much of this capacity, and I'm hoping the 2 smaller fields we'll be able to do without getting more, and then we'll just have to fill up again to do the other big field. And just like that, 1 field is complete. I think we still have a little bit of daylight to potentially finish the 2 small fields as I really jackknife the trailer there. Trying to avoid the trees. Yeah, this field is tiny. I mean, it's still a good sized field, but compared to the other ones, this is pretty tiny here. Shouldn't take too long. Cruising at 27 with the spreader. We'll get it done. And boy, we're done with lime. We got the JCB on the smallest field doing the mulching right now. So now we get to just hang out and wait till they're done with that and then make it March. That was quite the liming session. We did end up doing another trip back for 20,000, and then I got roughly 5,000 the next time. We can't forget about the 63,000 liters of sunflower oil that we have to sell. Yeah, that's a lot less than $500,000 worth. Or 500,000 units worth. It was year 6, February, when I remembered or realized, I called this the liter challenge, when it's really bottles. It's bottles of oil. All right, let's see. I think it's gonna be like 400,000 worth right here. 396, pretty close there. We're back up to 500,000. I'm hoping, and we might sell some lettuce to pull it off, but I'm hoping by the time we do harvest the canola, we're able to afford another harvester, because we're gonna need to. Don't necessarily need it until fall for the sunflower harvest, but why is it doing that? But we can get by without it until fall, but we definitely are gonna need it come fall. We need a semi and the big trailer pretty soon, because this is not gonna cut it anymore. Let's make sure we get this shut off though. And it's time to get to planting. We do have the JCB and the new planter planting field 6 right now. So we're gonna focus on field 6 and field 5, which we're in right here for the month of March. And come April, we're gonna wanna get the other 2 fields planted. So we gotta do rolling, and we wanna do weeds today as well. We wanna do those the same month that we plant. So we will definitely prioritize getting these 2 fields done. And if we get far enough, you know, we'll see what time it is, but I have a feeling we're definitely going to be waiting for April to do the other one. This field shouldn't take too long with this ginormous, ridiculous size planter that we have here. And away we go. It is always nice to plant on a new field the first time. It'll be even more nice to harvest it. 14 miles an hour is what we have it set at, the speed override for this. Especially with that in our favor, this shouldn't take too long at all. Why do I see a tractor in the co-op? We just finished the first headland. It's tractor in the co-op. Shouldn't be there. What is that over there? No, they're doing good. They're doing awesome. Totally getting sidetracked. And we'll get back to planting, but why have I never noticed this? There's a vehicle on the mini-map. Oh my goodness. Look at that. This opens too. Okay, the mystery is still no. Oh, it's right there. We've been driving by it all the time. Silly. Okay, I guess we could have used those to our advantage, but we haven't really needed them. Now, besides getting distracted there, boy, it's 8:42. We will possibly, we'll see. We might get them all done today. But now we need to get the roller. Definitely going to transition into a one tractor job right now. Well, we could get a worker going on rolling while we get the sprayer out to take care of the weeds. Yeah, I think that's the plan. All right, well, we're finishing this recording after patching day, and I did want to throw a little bit of an information out there for you guys. I had to reinstall my game to get anything to work, so I don't know if there was an issue with my install already, but if anybody else has a problem where the game gets to 100% loading, says it compiled the shaders, but then doesn't restart, or doesn't start, it just crashes, nothing in the log to indicate why. I had to reinstall the game, got back into everything. So far the patch is looking pretty decent. One thing I got to debug a little bit is my controller stopped working, so I don't know if that's a me issue probably because of the reinstall. So we'll figure it out though, but we're back here finishing it. We're going to risk getting all of these fields done. I remembered we do have the big sprayer to take care of weeds moving forward. So being that it's still 9 something, we got the JCB moved over to the other field. We're going to try to roll all these ourselves after getting all 4 planted. And we should probably have time to spray as well. So I did want to try to get them all planted just to kind of learn, make sure we know what we know about how much work we can get done. And the extra, what's the extra? The extra fields and equipment are basically the equation today for us, so I think we'll be good. Just gotta get this done. We might have to buy a little bit more liquid fertilizer, but going good. Going real good. Let's make the map big so we can make sure they're not stuck on the other field. Looks like they're rolling real good on field 21. And it's only 9:43, so we're solid. And we're heading back to get some more seed and liquid fertilizer at the co-op. You can see the field to our right is freshly planted. And they should be pretty close with this other field. They are low on liquid fertilizer as well. We can see in Simple Inspector in the bottom there, they have 100 liters to go. Plenty of seed. Oh, what's going on with that? And let's see if they can finish. They might run out, but it looks like they might have just, yeah, they completed their task, so all is good. And I don't understand why this thing is turning the way it is, but we'll get through it. And we're going to use it eventually, and we have the cash, so let's go ahead and just top up here. Yeah, $2,100 as expected. Liquid fertilizer is a little pricey. Let's see if we can get over here and get some seed without losing complete. I don't understand. Wow. Controller is helping me a lot, I guess. And let's go ahead and put the seed in here. I think we might need to reset our planter here to get this to fix. I think some of the wheels might be a little mad or something going on there, but let's get back. We have finished. We do know that we have 3 out of the 4 complete. It's still 10 o'clock. Got plenty of time to pull this off. If we can get there. Fun times. Fun times were had by all. It seems to be functioning pretty good in this state. I think it was just pulling it from behind was a little bit of an issue there. But we'll stay focused. I'm hoping to get this done before noon, and that would give us the second half of the day. Yeah, and a little bit more in the evening to get the rest of the rolling and spraying done. Well, it's 11:21. We got it done. That rhymed. At 11:21, we got it done. We do need to move the JCB eventually out of that field, but I do want to get started with rolling. Yeah, look at that animation. I imagine a decent amount of time went into this. Now these ones are going now. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. All right, I think we're going to trust a worker to get started with this. And we're going to get the JCB home. We're going to get the sprayer out. We're going to spray the fields and then take over wherever they are with the rolling. And if we have to go till it's dark, we got to go till it's dark. Canola's looking good. Should be ready in a few months. Sneak by here and try to avoid hitting any of it. Clean. I said we're gonna try to have them do it. Now they think they can get started. All right, there they go. And they're overcorrecting. Maybe a roller was a bad idea for a worker. All right, Godspeed. And with this, we're gonna work as far from the co-op and work our way back. So I think that's a wrong turn. I'm trying to think of where that would be then. Probably the field right here. Yeah, let's just start here. And good opportunity to see how the worker handles this turn around here. I have a feeling they're going to get stuck every single turn. Yeah, it's just... the trees that we can't collide with are a little too close. So I think we're going to call an audible and do it the other way around here. We'll let that get going on a worker, and I will hop in here and take over. And it should work out just fine, but we didn't get that started, did we? I hit H. There they go. Okay. All is good. We now proceed. And just wrapping up the rolling here, we have the spreader, the sprayer, it's a sprayer, on the big field next to us, field 5, finishing up. All the other fields are sprayed and rolled. We did it. It's 15:22. Got a little bit of time left in the day. We could probably handle one more field next year for sunflowers if we need to. Just got to get stuff put away and double check that they have enough herbicide to finish that job, and we're set for winter or fall when it comes time to harvest the sunflowers. The last thing I wanted to look at was how many sunflowers we still have over here. We have 53,000. Canola we are out of, and this production is at level 2. So I think when Yeah, it has 27,000 in here. So for the sunflower oil, if this is accurate and it's doing that many cycles, so 1,032 times 20, that's 20,000 a month times 12 is about 250,000 is what we would need for this. So that means we need 5 at level 2, or possibly we could get away with 4 at level 3. So the thing I did want to see was when it comes time to harvest sunflowers, we'll know how many left over we have this year. So probably at that point we'll add another production and see if we can get through a whole year, but we're going to need at least 3 more, if not 4 more. I think we're going to need 4 more at level 2. And that might look good here, you know, boom, 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 boom. And we could do a second layer if we needed to. That was the original plan. That's why we have so much land here that we may not completely use. Oh, it's been a long episode. Recording-wise. I'm not sure how long it'll be for you guys, but I appreciate every single one of you. I'm Socksway Up, and I will catch you on the next episode. Welcome back to the Oil Challenge. Today we're harvesting our 2 canola fields to figure out if we have enough for this challenge. And those of you who are new to the series, we are trying to build a farm large enough to be able to produce 1 million units of oil in a single calendar year. So we're gonna have to have 1 million sunflower and 1 million canola in capacity when the year starts to be able to pull that off. So this is technically still year 6. It says 7 on the chart, but we did a first year of just building up our wealth to be able to establish a farm. So we're gonna figure out how much we can generate today. We're using Yield Tracker, and we are on field 16 here. So let's take a look at Yield Tracker and see if we have any history on this for canola. And it looks like this is our first time harvesting it, so it'll be new information for us. The other field that we have to harvest today is going to be field 19. Let's see if we have any data on that. We do not. So it is a first time harvesting canola on both of these fields, and hopefully, I don't know the amount. I'm trying to get to about 300,000, or maybe closer to 400,000, so we can really do this in about 3 years. Year 7, 8, and 9 would be collecting the goods, and year 10 would be processing them. And we still, I haven't figured out what I want to replace this harvester with yet, but it looks like they did get stuck. All right, got that bush out of the way for them so they can continue on, but we're gonna, probably bust through this harvest pretty quickly and get back to planting, because if we look at the calendar here, on canola we have, it's July now, we can start replanting in August, and been kind of eyeing some fields. We have a little bit of cash right now. Potentially 29, which is 20 acres, and 15, which is 24 acres. Harvestable acres here is 16.4 on 15, and 29 respectively is 15.75. So maybe that'll be enough if we do buy those 2. And I guess while we're kind of just waiting to unload, 170,000 plus. Oh, that comes with the farm. So I don't think we will purchase that one. I want to stay somewhat in the proximity though. Maybe back here on field 1. Yeah, I think that would be ideal. And Walter's kind of, he's got soybeans in here. So we'll probably, whatever fields we buy, we're gonna have to cultivate and replant. There's no way around it. We need the crops as soon as possible to start collecting the information to get the goods. And that's how we're gonna have to roll with this. Yeah, give them a little relief here while they're finishing up this back tricky area. And then we'll get on with the harvest. But I will probably see you in a little bit and just give you an update on how these fields are progressing. And one thing I did forget to mention was field 17 we forgot to plant last episode. I did get that in before the day changed. I did it late at night and we got it done. So we're looking good. It did say they're stuck again, so it's, welcome to the world of, I don't even know where they're trying to go. I guess I'll do things myself. Now, anybody let me know. So if I come into settings here, it has avoid driving in fruit. It's still been driving on the crop, and only turn in the field activated. And it's definitely not only turning in the field. So I've been really struggling with courseplay lately. I feel like they've must have been a change that that broke it? I don't know. And it's beyond frustrating, but it is what it is. We will continue on our merry way and try to stay calm and enjoy the game. Using mods is always, you know, it's risky. But courseplay has always been so good, so I'm a little confused. Seems like my settings are the issue, but I can't figure out what part of the settings. We are 74% full here, so I think we are going to head on in and get the production back activated so we can start making some money off of some canola oil. Because we got a lot of productions we still need to buy to be able to pull off the million. And, you know, it's getting down to crunch time here. We're going to be busting through harvest, so think a little bit quicker through the rest of this series. And the gears are going to move a little faster if I can pull it off. That's my goal. Kind of get to the point where we know the fields that we're going to have, and we're not going to do much purchasing other than productions, and it's just time to be really busy on just repeating, you know, the years to get the goods acquired and then finish it out. So I think we're tracking good for year 10 still. Time will tell. We have been dropping off into the logistics distribution center, but while we have no product in the production, I will go ahead and just directly drop it off here today. And then canola we can activate again. Perfect. Everything else we will take to the distribution center to let it distribute on its own. Even though we only have one production, it's been the easiest way for us to do that, because it will get full at some point and have to slowly get distributed over there throughout the calendar year. Now, if I'm being honest, we are done with the harvest and I'm a little disappointed. Let's get this dropped off. We'll crunch some numbers. But it's not looking great when it comes to our canola numbers right now. So looking at field 16, we did get 83,155 liters, and on field 19, we got 56,572 for a grand total of 139,727. So we're gonna need to more than double that. So doing the numbers, we have, you know, about 18 acres here that we're able to harvest. And in 19, we have about 12 acres. So crunching the numbers, it looks like it's about 4,700 liters per acre. Now, if we went to 46, we have, so we can multiply that 4,700 by 46.82 and get about 220. So that would put us around what we need. So I think that's what we're gonna do. 46 is gonna be ours. Bro, man, not looking great. So we're at $34,000. We're gonna keep getting busy here, and we're already mulching the big field that we harvested. We'll get to mulching the field we just harvested. Basically what I'm trying to say is we need to mulch both fields that we harvested, and then we'll move on to our new field. And I kind of want to drive over there and take a look and see if we can expand it, see how bad the terrain is to make it easier to harvest. You know, since this is a challenge, trying to make things a little bit quicker and go through them quicker than normal and making our jobs easier is pretty much what I'm focused on right now. You know, looking in the distance, looks like there's a decent amount of trees and bushes that would need to be removed. And I want to kind of just, we're going to drive in the crops, so forgive me. Just, it seems smooth right here. I don't know why they would have done it that way. So there's that cut. And then I think there's one more up here. You can see a big dip in the ground in the distance there. It's probably going to be a problem while we're harvesting. But okay, that is the only one. Okay, so I think while that other tractor is going, I'm going to work on clearing these out. And let's see, I think these are ones we cannot drive through. Yep, they are solid. So we'll have to cut them down. And then when we get over here, we can just turn this into one big field. And I think with that extra amount, because this is a big chunk of the field right here, we'll be able to move a little bit quicker and harvest quicker and do everything quicker than worrying about turning through that small area on the right there. So that's the plan. Gonna stay busy, keep giving you guys updates along the way. Wish us luck. Well, we're just cruising along here, taking care of our new field, and we got that inside already extended. So you can see we already made it an official one field. No, none of the craziness going on there. It was a beautiful field layout. I absolutely respect it and love it, but for this challenge, it's just not going to work for us. We need all the extra land to make as much money as possible and harvest as much canola as possible here. So the other field right now, the other two have been limed. Lime has been being applied on field 16 right now. We got 19 already taken care of, and the other two have been mulched. Well, I still need to mulch 16, but I wanted to take care of this first. But getting close to moving to August, $31,000. So lime is eating into our budget a little bit, and JCB's doing a great job here of getting rid of a ridiculous amount of money that we could have made off the soybeans, but just not going to work for this challenge. Huge field. Should be the missing key that we had, other than the productions that we still need to purchase. This is absolutely going to push us over the edge on enough for the next 3 years of harvest, I believe. We're officially in August. Our window to plant has opened up. We got the JCB going on field 19. We're finishing up the lime here on field 16, and then we're going to head on over to that brand new, ginormously, ridiculously large field and get the lime done over there and hope that they're... Did we mulch back here? I don't know if we did. But we're going to hope that they're done with both of these fields by around the time that we're done doing the lime, so that we can double plant, use 2 vehicles at the same time to take care of planting the big, huge field. It was definitely a little time consuming. I think it was about midnight when I finally finished it, so it's definitely needed. It's just a big, huge field that I don't know what we got ourselves into, but I think it's going to get us over the finish line. Well, we are deep into planting season. We are working on that last field, as you saw in the time lapse. We're going to get some herbicide going here today. We need to get this one rolled still, but all the equipment that we could do that on is being occupied right now. So I figured we would take some time and do some herbicide ourselves. We'll go to the other field as well after this one. And just nice multitasking going on while we have some workers taking care of some things for us while we're taking care of what we can as well. So definitely burning through the time a lot faster than I expected us to, which is nice. Start moving this series a little bit quicker. And gosh, I love this piece of machinery. It definitely helps us get this job done in a very efficient time. Let's go ahead and just finish this back area. And this is another area I was kind of taking a peek at. Should we extend this field, get rid of all those trees? I don't know. I don't know if that would be the best move. It would definitely make planting and everything else a lot easier. And also creating courses would be easier because it's been neglecting planting that part and mulching and basically every job that an AI worker does. For whatever reason, I think that area is a little too skinny for the courses to generate back there, and we've just been kind of dealing with it and doing it ourselves. Seems to be the best course of action for some of this stuff. We did get the other field rolled. We'll have to do this one, like I said, after we get the equipment freed up, but definitely, making pretty good time. We started really early the second the sun was up in the morning here in August. So these fields aren't going to be too much for us, especially since we're double dipping on the equipment that is helping us get them all prepped and taken care of. Still feel like we might be a little bit short on canola, so I am tempted to pause the production on that and just lose the money we would make. I think between the lettuce and what we have with sunflowers right now, we might be able to afford all the productions we need when the time comes. But really gonna slow down making money for a while, except for what we need for those productions. And I think we're set on the equipment we have. I was gonna get another harvester, we still might do that. Money's really going to dictate what we need to do there, but to pull this off in 10 years, I feel like this is the only course of action that we can do to actually get it figured out and pulled off. And I feel like the challenge was pretty tough, and insanely, if I was not making videos, I think I would keep cruising along on this until I was able to do it in a single calendar year with a single harvest. So the previous year's harvest instead of it being 3 years like our plan is right now. But we'll get there. We'll figure it out. We will not abandon ship here, though it's going to get a lot tougher to finish each year. We have a lot more work to be done, and it seems like I think this is going to be it, though. I don't think we're going to add any more fields, so the time spent in this year is going to be the same time spent every year moving forward. I think we're going to pull it off. I was a little surprised there. I thought we were going to run out of herbicide on this field, but we did get it done. We're going to go purchase some more and work on field 19 next. And let's check in on the planting while we have a minute here. All right, so this is number 2, the one that started second. So it is a little bit behind. And here's the first one, the JCB. So they're making pretty good time. Product's looking all right. I'll have to keep checking on that. I think this one might run out of fertilizer. Though, I think we're close to being, yeah, it's just this strip here that actually needs it. So we are wasting a little bit of product on this field. So once hopefully they get past this strip with enough product and we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, right now it's dropping and it shouldn't have to. We could empty it. We'll just deal with it. I feel like my biggest concern right now is having enough money to get through each phase or each year. We should be good because we shouldn't be spending a ton except for on those productions moving forward. But lettuce is at like 500,000 right now. We still got a lot of months to go. It's going to get above 1 million. So we should be able to get a couple of those productions this year. Maybe not upgrade them. And then the next, I think we have time. So if we have 3 more years of lettuce, we should have enough time to get those productions by just making money off of lettuce and the sunflowers this year. So I think we may, I haven't decided yet. We're still producing canola and sunflower oil. So I haven't decided to shut those off yet. I think we definitely will come December and let whatever is left just kind of stockpile. But spending a good amount of cash here on some herbicide, we will burn through it between now and the rest of the series. So I'm not too concerned with the cost today. Just got to get to December when things are good to sell. 16,000. Not much debt, not a ton of production costs, so I think we should be good. We're not going to be buying any more product. This should be the last product that we needed to buy. And before we get going on this field, we'll do another check-in on planting. Looking good. Looking good. I mean, they're making good time. But here we go. Field 19 getting its weeds treated. And then we'll just need to roll and treat the weeds on the big boy, which I need to memorize that number now. 46. Field 46. And just kind of being transparent for you guys, I was, when I started this video, thinking about doing the rest of the year. It's just so time consuming. It's not going to happen. The rest of the videos would fall behind. I think I'm going to aim to do 2 episodes per calendar year to finish this series. And I know I said at the beginning of the year I wanted to get to 1 month per episode on pretty much every series, but this one's just going to run too long, and I am super impressed with how much of this field they've gotten done already. But yeah, there's just some of the thoughts that have been going through my head about this series. I'm really enjoying the realistic series and want to be able to spend more time on that, and I think that's why I'm trying to get this one to a state where we can wrap it up and know if we were successful in 10 years or if we needed that 11th. I mean, at the rate we're going and the way we're gambling, it's going to be 13, if not 10. I think it's the first time we're going to see if they're going to collide. Doing rows next to each other, and I think they are. No, it's going to be perfect, isn't it? Look at that. Boom. Almost kissed. Courseplay is working pretty good on this field. There has been a couple issues. You can see we are full of fertilizer and seed. I'm going to completely empty that when we get done with this run through. I accidentally deleted the cedar. I was trying to delete a tree that was in the way. So, you know, just full transparency. Wrapping up another season of planting. Feels good. We have the John Deere is just finishing up its last pass. I think it will probably take that one home, and we'll take care of the rolling with it. We're going to get a worker and just pray that it actually works. Courseplay was doing us... I didn't mean to grab it. Courseplay was doing us pretty good there, but I think I am going to do just a traditional old worker here. All right, they should be getting started now, and we're going to take this home. We'll get the John Deere out of the way. Hopefully we have time for that, and then we'll probably just park this here for now, to be honest. Yeah, plenty of seed left over. This isn't the one that we refilled, so away they go with the weeding. We can see them way in the distance there. It's been a long day, guys. And we'll start over here. And I think to give you guys a nice indication of how big this field is, if we haven't done it yet, a full time lapse, not of the whole thing, but of just the headland. And for those of you that don't know, my time lapses are typically 500 speed, so 5 times as fast as regular. It'll definitely give you an idea how big this field is. Enjoy. That's quite the field. I think you all would agree with that. And we got a lot more work to do. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of finish the rest of this off camera, and we'll rejoin you. We'll probably move to once a week for the oil challenge, so it's probably around another 8 weeks or so. And yeah, I will join you next time. I'm StocksWay Up. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next episode. Long time no talk oil challenge. We have some problems. We're trying to finish up year 6, and we're gonna get a look at our total numbers that we're gonna have for our first big sunflower harvest. We're hoping for close to 500,000 liters. And if you see the number there, we're at about 345,000. That's 155,000 short. Yeah, yield tracker, we're gonna take a look here. Sunflowers, only 82,000 on what we were hoping to be our biggest field, which was field number 5. I feel like that number is a little bit off. Let's take a look at field 18, which was, you know, our other big field. And we got 112,000. So like these numbers are just too low. Field 6, 43,000. Field, I think it's 18. Yeah, 18 we already looked at. We got 17 and 21 were the other two fields. 17 was 43,000, not terrible. And then 29,000 on field 21. So being that we're 155,000 short, we got to make up that 155,000 as well as increase the number to get to that 2 million sunflower mark that we're trying to get to. And I just don't see it happening without buying another field. So we're going to probably take a look at the map here. And field, I mean, 11 is 43 acres. But let's visit it and see 32 acres of harvestable land. And field 5 for comparison is 24. So a little bit bigger. And we visit over here field 18, 30, or 26. So this might get us that number, but then to make up the difference, I feel like you're going to need another field. So we already have 5 sunflower fields, and right now only 3 canola fields. And we're going to find out in the spring of year 7 if we have enough of canola or if we have to buy another field. So kind of eyeing field 11. It'll be $364,000, and possibly field 10 for $155,000. but we really wanted to start getting to buying more production. So we're going to hope the 213,000 liters of lettuce that we have is going to get us enough money, because we've got to hold on to the sunflowers. And let's double check that we're not actually producing sunflower oil right now, because we're not going to be able to. We're going to want to hold until January of year 10 to turn that on. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Sunflowers are, let's deactivate it right now. This could build up, that's fine. Let's actually go over here to sunflowers and not even distribute right now. Come down this way, and we're going, that says storing. So it's, oh no, right here. So we want to change this to just storing. As far as canola, we're gonna want to do the same. So the plan now is to go ahead and get everything we need in this distribution. We're gonna hope lettuce alone can fund everything we need besides whatever oil we've already produced. So it looks like we do have 38,000 roughly sunflower oil and 15,000 canola oil right now. And no canola in hand, so we're gonna need to produce about 666. No, what's the number? Whatever 2 million divided by 3 is what we're gonna need of canola every year. I don't know if we're gonna do it. I don't see us being able to pull this off. And I don't know where I'm going with this. Just kind of flabbergasted at the amount of product we're gonna need, but I think getting to the harvest, the summer harvest of the actual canola that we have is actually going to be needed, but to really make those decisions. But pretty quickly here, we're going to finish doing our, well, basically we're doing our spring prep right now. I'm getting every field ready. We have this field that we're on right now. We need to lime and mulch. And then this one that we're kind of struggling. Let's free them up. We've been just kind of helping out, and then I've been going around and deleting the bushes so we can, you know, just get our job done here. We don't want to be stuck forever. Are you gonna get stuck again? No, you gotta buy it, but we'll delete this one. We're just gonna boop, and they should not run into that problem again. But yeah, finishing up over here, we're doing some mulching. We got to do mulching on that field back there, and then we're gonna get to. That's lots of lettuce, but we'll get to the selling time of all the goods and really attempt to see if we can buy those 2 fields and get them prepped and get the sunflowers planted before we get to that canola harvest. Yeah, and prior to selling, well, I forget if it's right here or not, but we are going to sell the oil right now, and that's not the right spot. So we're going to drive around and sell it. And I think I'm at a point where the goods that we're selling, like the lettuce, I'm just going to automatically sell so we can just have money start just piling in at all times. That only got us up to 245,000, so that's not as good as we were hoping. So let's go ahead and jump in the map here. And this one, not enough, but this one we'll go ahead and secure. How are prices of lettuce right now? Yeah, we need to get to later on in the year, but I think if we're going to make that change, might as well make it now, and we will just risk it. So it'll make it easier for me. We're getting to the point where this is just a grind of a series, and we want to just grind it out, not show everything. Money's not necessarily super important. Everything that's important to us is the output of oil. So we just want to get to the point where we can get the fields we need. We have all the equipment we need. And why? Oh, no, there it is. Okay, that scared me. The number changed a little bit, but that was $737,000 now. So we can secure that last field. And then with the money we have, we know we're going to need a couple more productions, but let's go ahead and spend the money right now. Whoop. And we're going to hope between now and the next few years we get enough money for productions. I have a feeling we'll figure out how to pull it off if we don't. We'll have to do some upgrades as well, but let's go ahead and get that purchased. And just over time, like every hour, we should start making money off of lettuce. And I kind of am interested to see what that's going to look like right now. So let's get to 1,800 and a tiny amount. I think it was about 2,000 every single hour. So now I'm going to jump to midday December and see how it looks. Well, we went a little farther than we wanted. And with our production costs, That didn't really go up much. That's a little troublesome. Very interesting. So what we're going to do in the time being is finish prepping fields. And I'm going to get us to the point where, oh, we have more stuff to sell. Did we not? That makes me a little nervous. Oh, boy. Why? Sunflowers, why? We messed up big time. Did we? Did we mess up? Storing. Sunflowers are distributing. We want to change that to... Oh, I know why we did that. But if we come over to the production, sunflowers are just building up. Sunflowers are building up, but they're not activated, right? Canola, let's go ahead and deactivate that. Not active, not active. That's fine. They can do that. They can do that. But now, oh gosh, guys, I don't know how to use this mod. It blows me away. We'll go here and change it back to distributing. That's a fishing rod. So we can come here and hit this. And I think I can pick those up. I think we can solve this. And as long as those chains are up, we should be fine not to be distributing anymore. And we'll put them back. We'll put them back. So our plan might not be as good as we were hoping, but we're going to struggle to get through this. And yeah. Going to keep on prepping our fields, our 2 new fields, and got to get lime going on them, I assume. And we also want to, well, we probably won't need to mulch them. Potentially. I guess we had some, like, I did some silly things there. I definitely should have harvested those fields when I bought them. But you can see we are in get things done, finish the series mode here for sure. And yeah, I think we're gonna do it. It's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be time consuming, but I think we'll figure it out. Well, I thought I hit record there, guys. We're finishing things out. Jumping over here to finish out year 6. We did sell the rest of the sunflowers oil, and we have all of the production set the way we want, and we now have 3 of them. So we got a little bit of prepping to do to finish getting planting season ready for sunflowers. But the next update I'll probably give you is going to be after the year 7 canola harvest. Well, we're over here at the logistics distribution center for our canola harvest update on year 7, and you can see in the bottom right things are looking pretty good. Let's take a look at the yield charts though. So field 46 was our brand new field. We got 171,946 liters from it. That was absolutely what we needed. Field 16 we got 83,000, and field 19 we got 56,000. A huge drop off on 19 and 16. I don't know if it's the yield tracker. I guess we could add those numbers up and see if it's matching, but we're looking good here. I am going to potentially, well, I don't know. We just need 2 more harvests to get to that 1,000,000 liters of canola. And we're going to find out here in fall if we can bridge that gap of the sunflowers that we need. We have 3 more harvests of sunflowers. I don't know what I was thinking. So we have this year here, year 7. We have year 8 and year 9. Those extra fields, they might not even be needed. I think I was thinking we needed to get to 2 million each, but we only need to get to 1 million each with the 2-to-1 ratio. We need 2 million liters total of crops, but the way we're going to want the productions to run, we're going to want 1 million liters of canola, 1 million liters of sunflowers. So if that's the case, 333,000 is really the goal at the end of this year of sunflowers. We're going to be closer to 500, maybe 600,000 of sunflowers. So might have been a little overboard with what we purchased field-wise. A little bit of mistake on my point, not thinking through it. But we're going to get to that harvest. Next I'm going to get everything replanted. It's going to take a while. It's been a grind. We're doing a lot of stuff off camera. But the way I feel about this series is we've shown us so much of the same thing over and over again. It's time for me to grind in the background and give you guys updates when they matter. So I'll see you probably in a couple days in real life, but we'll be getting to that sunflower harvest right now. We're jumping in here mid-October harvest. You can see sunflowers in the bottom right are showing 449,000. We're solid. We got a few fields to do still. Crazy dip here, 101,000 compared to 112. We treated the field exactly the same. It was supposed to be 100% yield bonus. So what we're gonna do we're going to use one of our smaller fields that we have left, but we're going to write down 449661. So 21 sunflowers. That's pretty good baseline here. It's pretty similar. So, you know, expecting about 28K, we're going to do that harvest. We're going to jump back in and see if yield tracker is still matching the actual input that goes in here. I'll see you in a little bit. So it's projected, we're going to write this number down. Potential harvest quantity is showing up at 29,131. So we got some data. We're going to see how the data unfolds. All right, cruising around to get the final number here. Harvest is done. And we got a little bit of a vehicle for sale, or a used piece of equipment popping up too. So 29,131 was the number we were looking for based off of what one mod told us our expected yield was. And looking at our yield tracker, we're showing 27,283. Interesting. But we have 29,386. So something is off with yield tracker, and I feel like it's got to be a patch. I don't see why all of a sudden it would stop working unless something changed in the patch that caused it to calculate differently. I am using speed override. That is a possibility. So what I'm gonna do is this next field over here, we're gonna harvest next. We're gonna write down this expected yield number, which is 44,516. We're gonna do it without speed override and see. Little science experiment in the middle of this this little project we got going on here. But I will join you after that, and we'll see how things are looking. Well, I know this video is gonna come out way past when we've gotten beyond Winter Storm Elsa, which is, I don't know if that was actually what it was called. That's what they're calling it around here. I didn't, you know, watch the news or anything. But man, so we're making a ton of progress on this series because of that. There's just an insane blizzard going on, and I'm hoping we can get through a ton of this and not lose power. But would love to hear people that do live in the Midwest and the other areas that got hit by it, really the North Midwest. How was your experience with it? We're getting hammered, expecting close to 40 inches or something like that in this storm, and it's hard to tell what is snow blowing around out there versus snow coming from the clouds. It's insane. So we're staying warm, we're staying safe. I hope everyone else is, and like I said, this is going to come out well after we've recovered from it, and hopefully the snow melts pretty quick and we get to some spring, because we're missing it. New Holland for sale. We are going to finish this, but we already have 36,900 in the trailer, and yield tracker on field 6 for sunflowers is showing 31,000. So unfortunately, guys, if you're using yield tracker out there, it's just giving you a rough estimate, it seems. I'm starting to think, I don't remember if we actually validated that it was accurate. I feel like we did earlier on, and I could probably go look at some older videos, but it's not accurate right now. And I'm assuming I noticed it after a patch when we did a live stream, and I don't know what caused it. I think it was the 3-year anniversary live stream when we noticed it, but no. It was the 80K subs. Thank you, guys. To conclude our little science project here, we're going to end with 44,751 liters. So again, that's about 200 more than we thought we were going to get. But yield tracker is showing a terrible number of 37,000. So that tells us we can't trust yield tracker, and we are getting a little bit more. So we'll keep updating and showing it, but I think I'll just show you the totals that are in and the logistics building moving forward. Yield tracker's not going to be reliable enough for us to really concern ourselves with. Well, we're wrapping up year 7 here, and we have 995,000 liters of a combination of sunflowers and canola right now. 367,000 canola, 628,000 sunflowers. I think we overdid the sunflower fields a little bit, but that's okay. We're tracking to get to about 1.2 million, and we're also tracking to get just over 1 million canola. we're going to now transition to a little bit of science to learn about our productions. I'm going to go ahead and create a backup save so we can test out the upgrading of those productions. All right, let's start by looking at our one upgraded. I think this one was upgraded. Does it tell us? Does it tell us? 20. So if we're looking at canola here, 20 canola to 10 canola, and the cycle is 1032. Okay, get that number in our head. And it's easier for me to just go click over here. I don't know why. And this one's at 480. Well, there is some sunflowers in here, so it might not be the best test, but let me run some numbers. We should get 10,320 a month from this production. We multiply that by 12, that gets us 123,000. So let's upgrade this again. That gives us 190,000. We'll upgrade it to level 4. That gives us our number of 256,000. How does that look for sunflower oil? Is exactly the same. So we come out here now and we look at our money. I guess we should have paid attention. We should have paid attention, but let's put our fourth one down. So now we're going to come in here. We're going to go to all of these and make sure they're upgraded to level 4. And since this is a different save file, I'm going to throw another $2 million in our account. On this one, upgrade to level 2. Oh, it says over here. So we'll get these all to level 4. That might be the thing. Okay, so we got them all upgraded. So now we're gonna come over here to the distribution center. Well, we don't have them activated. We're gonna do a little science project. And what do we have in here right now? So we're gonna do enough sunflowers to get us over 1 million, and then enough canola to get us over 1 million as well. I should have bought a different trailer. This is long and annoying. Okay, so we are now at 1 million and 1 million. We're going to see if we can figure out how to do it this way. No, we're just gonna do it skipping time. We're gonna get to right at basically the beginning of December. Oh, no, we lost an hour. That might, no, we need January. So we're okay. We'll slow down. We'll do it better. All right, just to save for science, we're gonna go ahead and come in here a little bit before, and we're gonna start distributing, because what I really want to know is if I need to distribute earlier to make this successful or not. And is it going to distribute to all 4 of them evenly? So sunflowers are now set to distribute. Canola is set to distribute. I'm going to go turn this to, well, we got 2 minutes till a nice distribution here. So we're going to hover over here. We have a little bit of sunflowers already. Come over here. We have plenty of sunflowers because that was the one that had more. So 74,000. It did tick over. 72,000 over here. Run over here. Why are we not seeing canola? Because I did the canola oil. So the canola oil will change to storing. Canola will go to, whoops. This is going to be important. You mess this up, you're screwed. Distributing. No, I did it again. And we're leaving that all in the video. Distributing. Okay. So now we get to the 20. Yeah, so 60,000 each hour is coming over here. Is that going to be... That should be quick enough. So it seems like it is evenly going. So now we're going to come in here. Each production, we're going to activate both. And just, yeah, we want those to distribute. Do that. And just make sure what's, oh, we clicked over. Didn't mean to do that. So let's stop time. But we're okay. We didn't hit the first hour of the day. We'll go distribute, make sure everything is active here. Okay, everything should be rolling. And let's go real slow. We'll get to the 1 o'clock hour. Oh yeah, we can see it already. We can see it already going. Okay, so let's go at times 30. Walk over here. We got 120. Beautiful. Okay, so let's hop to February real quick. And we're gonna walk on over to the distribution center. And we have 36. Is that enough? Is that enough? 36,000 of each. And come back over here. Something that doesn't seem to be right. That's why we're doing this. All right, we are in July now. Let's hop in here. We're gonna go to time saving stock check. It's not producing them fast enough. We're at 353,000 and we need to be at 500,000 right now. So let's do some math here. Is that not parallel then? Let's get all the way to the end of the year. We're doing science, so we can do that. And in December, so canola's low. Let's get some lights for you guys. Hover over here, we have, yeah, it's not. Okay. Now, I don't think it's ever running out, but level 4 and 4 of these is not going to be enough. This is going to be tricky. We're thinking. I think we're going to reset and try a different test. But what we know is we need to produce 83,333 a month. So we're going to start over here. I'm going to put one down and we're going to run over to this one just so we know which one we're looking at here. We need 18 facilities really. Like, you guys you're going to hear the brain. The brain's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Okay. We're going to do something here. We're going to come here. We're just going to sell these. This is definitely going to make it harder. Okay, so we can hold 96,000 liters at a time in these. Okay, but how much is 1 hour? 1 hour is 9,600. So now I don't know which ones are which. Ah, this is a mess. I do want to learn a little bit though. Let's come in here, and if we have distributing turned on, distributing on that and on, well, did I do the right thing? I don't know if I did. Sunflowers, distributing, canola oil distributing. We want to change that to storing and change that to distributing. So canola is on top here, canola oil is on the bottom, and we come down to sunflowers and it's flipped. That's weird. That was what was, oh, because the S on sunflowers. Okay. So these are all activated and distributing. So we're going to go, well, we're going to try to go exactly an hour. So we're going to, I'm going to have to play this slow here. We're going to go to 1641 and stop it and do a little inventory. So distribution did not get there fast enough. So we only did 35 in 1 hour here. 33 in this one. 33. But it did distribute both. That was, I guess that was kind of what I wanted to test. I gotta think, guys. This is my thinking face. So what we do know is the upgrades exponentially cost more. So I don't think that's the right route. I think what we're gonna want is just the mess of productions here. But the problem is we would need 111,000 liters of each type in here. It only holds 96,000, so that's 15,000 short. So after a few months, we could add 15,000 in each. Start off by getting 96,000 in each of them. And then what we're gonna need to do is on December at 23:59, we're gonna need to have it fully operated, turned on, and let it go, let the, wow, words are hard. Then we're going to have it burn through 15,000 liters, add 15,000 liters to each of them. And we're going to have, gosh, this math is a little bit off. We're going to need 112,000. So we're going to need 16,000 extra. So we need a little bit more. We need like 1,010,000 of each just to be safe. So then we're going to need to, run the production, fill them all up with 96,000. Run the production until there's an extra capacity of 16,000. We can refill them and then let the year end. We're going to place two trusty tests. We're going to hop in. We're going to get at least a month worth of goods into each of them. So this will be our canola production and this will be our sunflower production. What we're going to do, we're going to use this. We're going to find the right one. I always forget where this is at because I don't use it very often. So we want to set this to 0 and we are in November. So 0 and December, and we'll go ahead and advance. Make sure that worked. Yep. Okay. So now if we come over to these productions, we go to the front door. We lost a liter. It's weird. This one has sunflowers. We'll go ahead and activate that now. And this one has canola. We'll go ahead and activate that. And we're going to go ahead and hop in here. Now we're going to go to January. Nope, hit no. We're going to 0 in January. I want this to be exact. Why didn't that work? It's activated. And activated. Does that not actually run productions? Okay. So we'll do it this way. Time is moving now. So we need to get to February. So that's good to know as well. We can't skip time that way. We have to actually skip time in game. So hopping forward with time with easy dev controls doesn't actually do what we want. All right, we got 1 minute to get through. And there we are. Let's go ahead and stop it now. Okay, so 4,870. That's right. Okay, so it should have been 4,800. So we have 4,870. So we have a little bit of extra. And now over here, we have about the same. Okay, So that tells us if we do that plan of getting 96,000 in here, let it run down and get another 16,000 in there, we're going to succeed. All right, I'm going to get back to work. Probably just give you another quick updates at the end of each year. We won't do each harvest season. And I don't know how many days in real life it's going to take, but we'll give you another update pretty soon. All right, so year 8 check-in here. We're at, let's try to get a good view here. We'll zoom in for you, but 941,000 sunflowers, 727,000 canola. So one more year of harvest will do it, but we're kind of short money right now. You can see here we do have 9 facilities. These are going to be for sunflowers over here, and then turning around we have 2 here, so 7 remaining to purchase, which is about 1.68 million. Yeah, we got to find that money. We do have the $1 million line of credit. That's kind of our saving grace, but I'm going to try to not use that. And pretty soon I'm going to start filling these up, but we're going to get through one more year. I got everything planted. At this point, it's just kind of skip time until we can do the harvest and enjoy some horrible textures. I will see you guys again, and the next time I see you, we'll be looking at our total numbers and starting to fill up these productions and starting to turn them on. Never again, guys. Never, never, never again. We have 1,087,000 canola, 1,258,000 sunflowers, and yeah, all those facilities we know. Over here we do have 6. So it is November. We're not going to make enough money to... What is going on here? Interesting. We're not going to make enough money to buy the next 3 that we need. So we will be taking out, well, pretty much the whole line of credit. And in here we still have it available to us. So we're going to draw funds. We'll just do the lot of it. That's too many zeros. And then we'll put them down. Can't quite sneak this last one in. We'll just have to override it, and there we go. So a lot of facilities here. I'm trying to debate how I want to fill things up. So that's the next phase here. I think we can unload here, but we could also get the pallets out. But driving around that trailer in these tight areas is gonna suck. So let's see if we do this. Let's start with sunflowers, and I'm not gonna completely bore you guys, but we're just gonna have to, we'll start with the farthest one, and we'll probably get rid of this fence to make this a little easier on me. It's a little comical at this point to me. B, okay, B, there we go. So that's gone, and we might as well get rid of the back fence too. We were gonna decorate this all up, but you know, this is so time consuming. You can hear it in my voice, I'm sure. I'm gonna get these full, and I will see you in a little bit. Well, this is the part that's gonna make me nervous. We're gonna double check all of them and get them all set. So we have sunflowers and everything on this side, and we have all the canola over there. So each one I'm going to go in this way. I'm not going to click around the menu because I want to just make sure. So this one we know is sunflowers. We're going to change it to distributing and activate. And I'm going to do this real slow on each production facility because this is where we could really mess up and lose the challenge. One go at this here. Activated. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of take my time, get these done, rejoin you. And I'm doing them this way, and I do want to kind of mention that so I know where I'm refilling things is correct. So I could go through and see, oh, it's sunflowers, activate sunflowers, but I want to make sure they are all over here and all the canola are over there. Sunflowers are set. Time to set the canola. All right, we're all set. We're going to just double check that we do not have any oil right now. They're set to running, but the time is paused. Come over to the facility here. We're just gonna kind of double check things. Just canola and sunflowers in there. So now November around 11/12, when it says year 11 is what we're gonna get to. I'm gonna go to December. We're gonna check our numbers, see how we're looking. Gonna let this run kind of slow because I just don't want anything weird to happen, but we can already see it's rolling in our numbers. Each hour, those should start increasing, 3,000 of each. I'm kind of nervous. This is weird. We know it should work, but I'm nervous that we did something wrong. Well, a little nervous. Creeping up on the first day, we need those numbers on the bottom right to say about 46,000. I am going to stop it at 11. 12 or close to 11, 12. We'll double check, time-saving stock check, because we might have some in distribution that aren't completely getting here yet. All right, right there. Let's go ahead and stop time. Time-saving stock check. It's a little short. 43,000. Let's just add these up. 43,519 plus 43,150 equals 86,669 times 12. It's over $1 million. Okay, so we're tracking. We're tracking. So what I'm going to do now, well, whoa, we didn't double check things, but let's go into these productions. Once the capacity gets down to roughly 81,000 in all these, I'm going to fill them back up. Oh, it scared me. I was looking at canola. So we're still there. So we're going to go a couple months. I'm going to keep checking that. And I'll just give you an update. I mean, obviously, as long as I fill these things up correctly, we should be golden. We should be golden. All right, I don't trust the game engine enough to run the time any faster than 360, so it's gonna take a little bit. All right, we're in January, and the facilities are at about 49,000, so I'm gonna start getting a little bit of... I'm gonna try to do about 15. Oh, that was pretty good. That should be safe, and I'm gonna start with the farthest one and fill them up, and, you know, we'll see how this goes. I think I did my math wrong. I think we needed 30,000 extra per production because we have a lot left over. So I was crunching the numbers again. I am just filling up these. I know we have plenty of sunflowers, so I'm just filling up all the facilities right now, and we'll probably do that again in March. We'll be a little bit more careful with the canola, but I think we're good, guys, but I'm nervous. In our February check-in here, you can see we have over 125,000 of each, so we are a quarter of the way there. We're gonna keep going. I'm actually gonna refill. Well, let's see the capacity right now of these productions. 85. Yeah, we're gonna go till March. I'm gonna refill as much as I can. Again, we'll be careful. I think we have enough extra to pull this off, and I think we're okay going a little bit faster in speeding up time. It seems to be progressing well. Time to get everything refilled here late in February, and just a little check-in here, about 150,000 of each. So we're going good. All right, so I think I did something wrong with distributing the canola, because I think this is the last we have. So what I'm gonna do is put about 20,000 liters of sunflower in these two facilities and activate that just to make sure, because like I said, we distributed all of it, and I think I just kind of didn't balance what I needed to right now because we were, you know, tighter. I think we had 38,000 extra canola, which with the way we did it, it's, yeah. And we also are running a lot lower on sunflowers than I thought. So I think we have more than the entire year worth distributed, but just want to be safe here. Something with my math was off for sure. So I'll try to do about half in here and half in the one in front of us. All right, well, that's dumping. I'm gonna run around over here, turn these two on for sunflowers, and then we're gonna pretty much just get to the end here. No reason to prolong it at this point. Distributing active and distributing active. All right, I'll see you in November. Well, I don't know why I was so nervous, but let's go to time-saving stock check here and double check our numbers. Super nervous this wasn't gonna work out. 538,209 plus 471,065 is 1,009,274. We did it. We did it. All right, what we want to do next, we have everything in, right now we have everything in the distribution. So we're going to come in here into productions. Oh boy, guys. All right, let's go to canola oil. We're going to change to selling. We're going to go down to sunflower oil, change to selling. And then we're going to pass some time, get that selling event at 9 a.m. here, and watch our dollar about jump up to $5,693,000, but we're not done yet. We're gonna sell everything, and I'll come back with our dollar amount and let you know how much money we made. I thought we would end the series where we started, but we have one thing to do here. Let's go into our line of credit. We're going to make a payment, pay it in full. We're gonna close the line of credit, and we're gonna finish this challenge with $10,770,000. We did it, guys. Want to do a little retrospective here for those of you that are still here at the end of this video. I wouldn't do this again. We did the chicken challenge, and then I did this one. So the chicken challenge, we did 2 years per video. I think that's the route to go if we're going to do a 10-year challenge moving forward. This episode took multiple weeks to make, and it was definitely worth it. And I feel like if we did that for this entire series and did big chunks in single videos, I think the attention span of myself and just the way YouTube works would work better. So lessons learned. If you see a big challenge from me like this again, they're just going to be longer videos like the 10-year chicken challenge was. I got a lot of fun content planned for the channel though. Thank you for hanging out. I am exhausted from this video. I'm excited to look at a different map for a little while, or multiple different maps. Let me know how you guys enjoyed it, what you would do differently, what you thought of the presentation for the last, I guess, 4 years of the video. But thank you for hanging out. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next one.